Bored Ape Yacht Club. The hype is too much.
KIK. You guys know that app?
Cody does.
I already know. I wasn't going to say anything. What kind of phone do you use?
Android.
Oh, you have an iPad?
No.
Unbelievable.
What's next? What's next? What's next?
What's up, everybody? I'm Shane Salonitri, and welcome to OK What's Next. As always, I'm joined with my co-host, Nick Eccleston and Cody Eccleston, the brothers that are just taking over Web3, or attempting to at least. We are also joined with Ben Cohen, a social media expert who is transitioning into the world of Web3 and making a big splash. Ben, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Okay, what's next? It's always great to have an in-studio guest where we can talk about Web3 and your specialty, which is social media and now Discord, correct?
A lot of Discord.
Yeah, so I mean, before we dive into the Web3 stuff, I think we should first talk about your background a little bit and how you got into this crazy industry.
I know I got some questions.
So how I got into Web3 or how I got into the social media stuff?
Yeah, I guess social media first.
Social media was a big accident. I'm glad it happened, but a big accident. So if you back up to 2016, 2017, I had an app studio. So I was making apps for clients, and I started to transition that to making my own products. So I made this app called Wentagram, and it did exactly what it sounds like. It told you when was the best time to post on Instagram. And when it came time to marketing it, all of like the traditional paid media, PR, and all of that kind of stuff wasn't that interesting. It was very clear we needed to go on Instagram. So what I started to do, in the long story short, was find meme pages and pay them to advertise my app. And it went really well, to the point where I said, I just need to own these pages. And I started buying, much like Web3 now, a lot of the people that are in the space were really young. So they didn't quite understand the value of an impression. So buying an Instagram page at that time was sort of an arbitrage. So I just started buying them up and learning how to grow them and how to get an audience engaged. And, I remember the first page I bought was, this page had 600,000 followers and was called School Bathrooms. And the username, and it was like a classic meme page. The username was S period School Bathrooms. Like they couldn't even get the OG name. Yeah. From there, it turned into this company called Scopus Media, and it took a life of its own. We went from there to buying a ton of pages, rebranding a lot of them. You're talking about BAYC, Bitch, Eats, Vacay, Puzzles, Unseen Illusions, Perfection. There was so many, 17 million subscribers in total. And so, yeah, I mean, social media became my life, and fast forward to the end of 2018, we sold all of them to this company called, the public company is called Boohoo Group, and they have Boohoo, Pretty Little Thing, a bunch of different brands under the umbrella, Nasty Gal, and then, a few years passed, did a lot of stuff with e-commerce, a lot of stuff with audience development, and Web3, which is really an audience thing as far as I'm concerned. Here we are.
All right, that sounds great. So let's talk about, I want to talk about Umbrella Games a little bit.
Okay.
So that was going on during this entire span of doing the social media?
Yes. So basically the way it started was when I developed the network. In the beginning, I was promoting my own apps and games. Mikkel, who is the founder of Umbrella, came to me. We're close friends. He said, "We got to do something. You're getting apps and games into the top charts. We have a lot of good IP. Let's do something." So we made a deal, which made me a partner in the company. And pretty much immediately, my promotions on Instagram turned from Wentagram and some of my own stuff to Umbrella's products. And at the time, Umbrella was turning into a publisher, meaning independent gamers, game developers and designers, and even some really small studios were coming to us saying, "Can you guys publish for us and handle kind of the marketing, handle the app store, get us a feature, at the same time, we were making our own original content. And yeah, I mean, it went great. We had a few games that went top 10. And, I think at the end of the day, I think we had like 35 million installs.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, really good
So
stuff.
with the socials, was it pretty much the main use for you was promoting the own stuff you were creating and your own apps, games, stuff like that? Or was there ever a point where you were promoting and like partnerships with other games and stuff like that? Was that
So
ever-
no other games. I didn't think that. I thought that would really dilute the message. But there were some branded. We did something with Pitch Perfect 3, I think, with Universal, Burger King. We had something with Eat. So there was some branded content
Okay.
deals, but I didn't go crazy there.
Was it, how big did because it started with just you, how big did the company actually become? Like, did you have other employees?
Yeah. There were 6 at the peak. We had 2 software engineers, and then there were 4. I'm not including myself. 4 people that were making content and focusing on growth, which honestly wasn't enough. I thought we were understaffed. I think it was just going too quickly, and it was hard to make a priority to hire and train people at the speed that we were growing. We just kind of were chasing the tiger.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a lot of people they underestimate how much it takes to run one social media page compared to running multiple.
Yep.
It's a beast. Do you still have any of the pages or
No, I sold all of them.
Sold all of them?
Sold all of them.
So yeah, I guess that leads us to then how did this whole Web3 thing happen?
So that's an umbrella thing. So Mikkel and Sven, they made, they got into the NFT space about a year ago. And they had some success for sure. They did Full Body Ape Club. They did Full Body Mutant Club, which completed, from the PFP from here down. And both projects were a sellout, and they had some success. And I think that now, they had the idea of the Killer Bears, which is the project I'm focused on now. And they came to me and said, listen, it's all about community. That's your thing. Business is your thing. We really can't do that. It's too much for us. Let's bring it back and let's just change. Let's change the studio from, Umbrella is still operational. The games are still live and they're still getting players and they're still collecting revenue and it's all good. But the casual and hyper casual games became really saturated. So it made sense to transition towards this. So they came to me and said, let's do it. We already worked really well together for years and they'd seen some success, and obviously the community aspect is key. So we went for it. That's a few months ago now, and we'd been talking about it for the better part of a year, but it took some time to get to this point. And then, I think the Discord, by the time that I got to it, only had about 1,000 people. We really needed to grow and spread the word. And yeah, I mean, it's been fun. We launched and minted, sold out successfully about 3 weeks ago.
Wow! Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been following along.
The work doesn't really begin until after you sell out. I actually thought that, I was telling my wife, I was like, I really can't wait for the mint to happen. I'm exhausted. It just
doubled, right?
It just doesn't end. I think way more. I think quintupled.
Oh wow!
What happened? What waited for us on the other side of a sellout was a lot more than I anticipated. Really good problems to have community and to have a following that's passionate, but Discord is busy. That's for sure.
So yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before in the show. Discord has kind of become like the community hub for NFTs, and I mean, we've asked this question a couple of times. It's like, how did that happen? Because Discord was, I mean, and you guys could speak on this. There are 2 avid gamers here, and they're both very active on Discord. I only came into it with the NFT space. It's kind of interesting how did Discord become the place for NFTs when it was for gamers initially?
I gotta tell you, the first time I went on Discord was, I think it was 3 years ago. I got into a server, I started to participate. It never stopped making noise, and I was like, I can't do this, and I deleted it. I don't know how it became. I don't know, how did it become? I mean, I get it. It's
Nick,
immersive.
Cody, give us a
Yeah,
little
I
insight
can
here.
talk about this. So like you said, I'm an avid gamer, stuff like that. I I talk to people all the time, especially when you're playing games. You just have to talk to people. And back in the day, like I was using TeamSpeak because that was the one to go, especially for computer gaming or anything like that. TeamSpeak was the one to really go. But that's all it was to communicate if the game didn't have in-game communication. Discord came out like 2015, and that was like when everyone was starting to transition over to that. And I heard about it, and like people was like, you just got to join. It's like it's like Facebook for gamers. Like just join in. It's community. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. Never went back because Discord blew my mind with just how much you could get. Like I'm avid in the fighting game community. Like that is where it lives. You can't find it anywhere else. It's not on Facebook. It's not on like back in the day. Like I said, MySpace too. It was like it wasn't on these social medias. Discord was the social media for a lot of the games. And that's where you had to be.
It's overwhelming, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yes, to an extent. I mean, I've said this multiple times that, like, I don't know how long it took you to learn how to use Discord, but it took me roughly a week of, like, really deep diving to really get a good handle of, like, okay, this is how you use it. But it took me months and even years to, like, really understand and grasp, like, what is needed to build a server and then build a community behind it. You know, and so I don't know if you want to talk on like how long it kind of took you to.
I would say in my second tour of duty on Discord, which is in this year, probably 3 days of like 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
Being like, all right, I get it. It's comfortable. There's some Slack to it. Slack, I obviously am really comfortable with, but Slack is not that noisy. There's no games. It's just work.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was sort of the kind of transition that people wanted to make was you can gamify your chat channels on Discord.
Right.
There's no other platform that really does that.
No.
And you can't have like Discord has such a great like community itself behind it. And there's independent developers developing bots and different things to do different things via chat channels, voice channels and stuff like that. And that's the thing is there's no platform to combat Discord's capability of building a community.
Nothing can compare. It's actually incredible. You know, when I was saying that after we minted out, the workload became insane, and it changed. In the pre-mint, a lot of it is entertainment. Your games, you're hosting games, you're doing giveaways. There's a lot of information that you're trying to disseminate, but it feels more entertainment. And then you mint out, and all of a sudden it becomes information. People want to know what about the team. They want to know what your plans are. You know, you have a published roadmap, which is pretty tight, and we think that it answers enough questions, but we couldn't believe how many more questions there were. What Discord gives you the chance to do is to make channels that there's no talking in them. It's just, if you want to know more, this is the place for this, and this is the place for this. So it took some time after the mint to figure out how to restructure things, but it's an incredible. It replaces the need for so much. A website. I mean, NFTs. It's Twitter and Discord and nothing else. There's virtually no action elsewhere, and Discord is so immersive and so robust that it just does the job.
Yeah, I mean it gives you that platform to have almost everything in one place.
Right.
Instead of a lot of like. Certain, I guess, companies or certain types of communities will be across like Twitter, Instagram, and they have like each thing for something.
Right.
Discord allows you to kind of put everything in one place for everyone to use. And I mean, that's including, chat channels to talk with people. That's information, as you said. There's AMA channels. So, the project employees can pretty much go live and explain and have questions asked and answer them. And that's all like kind of a show kind of deal. And it's all in one place. And that's one of the things that I think the NFT community really latched on when they moved to Discord was the fact that you can have your community all in one spot to do everything that you need to do, as opposed to, being across like Twitter, you'll make announcements, and then there's this platform for chatting, and then this platform for this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? So it kind of puts everything all organized in one spot.
And what makes that extremely difficult, like you said, with Twitter, right? You could put a post out and people will be commenting. You could have like 1,000 comments on a post, and then it's like trying to get back to all of them or answer them. And just to even see all the comments, that takes time. You're going to have to refresh a few times. But with Discord, it's just live right there. It's like an updating board in its own. So you could clearly see, oh, all these people are asking questions. I could respond faster to any question they have. And they, like, you won't get as many questions then because they're seeing, oh, he's already answering that. Thank you. Perfect. That's what we needed. And that was really what it is it's instantaneous than waiting on social media, like Twitter and such, to wait for a response.
Absolutely.
I mean, with all these positives, we can't really ignore the fact there are some negatives here.
Well, of course.
I've talked about these before, and as someone that's like, I wasn't in Discord before. I only came in with NFT stuff. And one of the first servers that I worked with, it was primarily gamers in there. I didn't realize there was a thing with like spamming at everyone, but I realized that's kind of an NFT thing because most of the servers that I'm in for NFTs, they ping a ton. And then compared to like the gaming servers that I've been in just for research purposes, they really don't. You don't get pinged nowhere near as much in my opinion.
It depends. Sorry to cut you off, but
No, I was done talking.
okay. The NFT Discord side or the NFT side of Discord is more based off of information, and like when you get that at everyone, it's like something's going on that they want your attention. In a gaming server, the at everyone is more like, obviously gamers are more familiar with Discord and more familiar with, and they're constantly at their computer, they're constantly going through the channels, they're constantly going through each server. So it's like the only time you really add everyone is when something like serious happens. And so it's like all the servers that I'm in for gaming, I'll get 3, 4, 5 pings a day maybe, and that's all of them. And then there's, the couple of NFT ones that I'm in for actually being involved in the NFT itself, and they're 30, 40, 50 a day.
That's too much.
Yeah. No, I mean I left it one time. I left it a day. I didn't open it at all, and I wanted to just see how many they racked up, and it was 74.
Yeah, I mean, that also depends on how many servers you're on. The NFT ones are definitely spamming it a little too much, but the gaming side of the gaming side of it is just as bad. Like I said, I'm in a couple fighting game ones where it's like they're talking about it, and they'll give you like the role of, oh, at this game or at here. And if people are looking for games, they'll be like, at here, who wants to play this? And you'll get that ping. If 70 people in a day are like, hey, I want to play some games, they'll at that. It gets annoying, but some servers have it where you could opt out of that too. So
that makes sense.
That's one thing that, there's a big disconnect between the gamer side of Discord and NFT side. And like the NFT side, not a lot of people who get brought into these projects to moderate and admin these Discords know a lot about Discord.
Right.
Some of them are gamers, so some of them, you'll get in some of them and they're all set up correctly and all that kind of stuff. But then there's others you'll join, and like one of the main things that kind of turns me off from when I join a Discord is if they don't have it set up already, that the only notification you get is an at mention.
Right.
And that's one thing that kind of like turns me off, because it's like you join and it's like ping, 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 ping. You know what I mean? It gets annoying over time, and some don't even have the channels set up correctly. And that was one thing I posted something on LinkedIn, going back to like Discord and NFTs, and there was a lot of traffic coming to it, and it was a lot of people were saying that they like the Fiverr people. Now, like, don't get me wrong, there's good talent on Fiverr, but a lot of people were saying they took them like 3, 4 people they had to hire to get a quality Discord.
Yeah.
And that's just one thing that in this space, it's you don't know. You know what I mean? And you kind of have to vet people like you vet a project. Like,
Yeah.
the majority of people on Fiverr are just trying to make a quick buck because they know all these NFT servers are trying to pop up. They're like, I could quickly make a server, which brought it to the other point, like what we talked about before, which is like experiencing Discord as just a user and joining Discords is completely different than building your own.
Correct.
It's a whole different learning curve because now you're looking at the back end of Discord, and there's a lot of ins and outs that you gotta like familiarize yourself with. And I felt like that would take about like a week for anybody just to get, oh, that's exactly how you do this or that,
Yeah.
It's it can be loud, it can be noisy, and you need some help with it. It's not it's a team effort. You need somebody at the top that's got an idea of how they want things to look long term, and then there has to be a really good team of moderators that understand the limits and the boundaries and how to engage the audience without annoying them. Because at some point, if you get pinged too many times, you have to leave the server. You can't stay in, even if you want the information. Yeah. So the boundaries need to be set, and there's a lot of bots, there's a lot of tools that you can use to control these things. A lot of people don't use them. You need if you have an audience, it's worth a ton. If you have an audience that's captive, it's worth even more. If you have an audience that's leaving you because you've annoyed them too much, you're really digging yourself into a hole. It's hard to get out of that once you start spamming.
Oh yeah. Well, to take a step back to what you said about like I completely forgot what I was going with that.
So, all right.
Wow.
I'll take your point for you.
I'll remember. It'll come back to me.
It'll come back.
What he's saying is there's a very thin line of how many pings per day you should really do. If it's a big announcement, go right ahead, ping everyone. That's a good one. If you're doing an here, like if you're going to be running games and you want to ping people, I would suggest making a role for the games. If they want to opt into that, tell them straight out, you're going to expect a lot of pings from this, so just be wary of that.
Right.
I was a spammer when I started in Discord. I was tagging everyone.
Because I think the
I had
reason
no clue what I was doing.
people come from Slack where mentioning people is totally okay. And then they land in Discord, which looks kind of similar. You know, the things on the left side, there's channels. It's just not the same. Maybe it's the sound effects. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is so much different.
Yeah, and I remember my other point, like to go back to, you said like the bots and people utilizing the bots, people really don't. It goes back to the knowledge of the bots. You know, me and Cody have been using Discord for years. I can't even.
From the beginning.
Yeah, it's like from the beginning.
Your OG Discord.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unbelievable.
Which isn't even that. I thought Discord was way older than 2015.
I mean, it's still pretty old. I mean,
2015's old.
yeah.
There's
2015 is-
been concepts prior to Discord, and Discord basically took the best ideas from each concept, put it into one, and created this platform. But that's the thing is like, you know, when me and Cody are building Discords, you know, we've developed like a whole template of like what is the best idea to build out a Discord.
And you're talking about like channel structure,
what bots to bring in.
Okay.
You know, we always do like if we're making a Discord for a project, you know, we'll sit the founder down and we'll say like, look, these are the bots that we have that need to be in. What kind of ideas would you have? And we'll do the research if we don't know already of what bots can do that. And that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't do.
right?
And it's like, you know, Discord has bots for literally anything.
Everything.
What gets even better though is if you get a coder or anyone that knows code to actually build yourself a custom bot.
Yeah.
Because you literally could do anything you want with that. But obviously that's more high end stuff. And like I said, that like if you don't have one, you could hire somebody to do that. But you know, it's going to be spending a little much into the Discord. Going back to like the whole Slack thing, and this is with the older generation, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, I hate Discord and stuff like that." It's because they're used to Slack and they expecting it to be the exact same, but it's not. And it's one of those things where it's like if you're used to using a program, right? Like for instance, for me, I hate using Macs. I just cannot use them because I use PC.
I'm a big Mac guy.
What do you use?
PC, just any
Which one?
Windows, anything that's not a Mac.
What kind of phone do you use?
Android.
Oh, you have an iPad?
No.
Unbelievable.
Okay. I
There's very few like you.
well, my thing is this, I had an iPhone, but when I was military, I had to transfer over from where I was, so I got an Android. Never turned back because it was the best thing. It was freedom.
Have you used an iPhone lately?
No,
His last iPhone
was iPhone 3.
Yeah, the iPhone 3.
Oh, that's
It's to the point where it like has become such a thing with him that now like even if he does
can't.
secretly want to go to iPhone,
I
Or
literally
get a Mac.
can't.
Look, why don't Shane just air it out?
But-
Cody had to use Shane's MacBook for 2 hours to do a video.
I have a good story on this one. So I have a friend named Joe. He lives in Long Island. He is a very successful guy, and he, like you, anti-Apple everything for years. And I'd be like, Joe, you got to stop with this. It's so much better. Remember the Wall Street Bets thing some months ago? He made a ton of money on Which was the one?
GameStop?
GameStop.
AMC.
GameStop. Like an incredible amount. And his gift to himself, he was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get an iPhone. I was like, you can afford more than that. But I was so proud of him that he was gonna do it. Fast forward, everything Apple. Everything.
Well, the only reason because you have to have everything Apple.
No. he was using iMessage. He was like, this is incredible.
Well, so
I
okay.
message on the Mac, like or your MacBook or your Mac desktop to your phone. Game
Look,
changer.
I will say this because I'm one that bounced back and forth.
What do you use right now?
Right now, I have Android.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
I don't
I've
know.
had every
Man,
single.
I'm dealing with.
Hold on.
He's an Apple
Hold
person
on.
though.
I've used every single iPhone that ever came out so far. Recently, I went over to Android because of the certain phone and the certain capabilities that this phone has that Apple does not. That's the thing. Certain
What
things.
capabilities though? That's what I don't like. What
There's
are
a
you doing
lot.
on your phone.
No, there's a lot. Motion smoothing. Do you have that?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't want motion smoothing.
But so
When you're watching a video, instead of the regular,
Oh, it's what the TVs have now.
it's basically
Which
it makes
makes-
it look like you're physically
I
watching.
kind of
like-
hate when the TV has that as well, where it like looks like it's people in a box. It doesn't look like TV. Like I don't know.
but
Well, I'm just saying the capabilities that Android has as opposed to Apple. Android has a wider range of things that they put into their phones. Apple, the thing with Apple that kind of, took over was the fact that everybody has, not everybody, but 90 or so percent has an Apple product to communicate. And so if you have an Android, such as myself and Cody, myself recently, you kind of get excluded from all the Apple
We
talks.
don't- They like I
You
do
know,
group chats and like I don't want no green bubbles.
I don't want
like,
any
take
green
them
So,
and, like ignore.
well, okay, just to like a little piece on this because I know we got off a little topic, but with the SMS for Apple is because they refuse to upgrade. Every other phone company that has text messaging has upgraded to a higher standard, which acts just like iMessage, but Apple refuses, and to force people.
Hold on, Cody, real quick. Lower your volume a little bit. You're getting heated right now, and you're blowing my eardrums out.
All right, well, okay. What I'm getting at is they refuse to update their SMS for any other product that's not Apple, and they're making you guys bitch and complain at your other family members and stuff
only-
to buy an iPhone.
okay.
But that's the thing; they just refuse to upgrade. Every
I'm
other
gonna
phone
back him up,
has-
and the only reason I'm gonna do that is because I have a completely different company phone than he does. I have a OnePlus. He has the Samsung,
Okay.
and we have that iMessage style texting.
I have it
our
with every other company.
yeah,
except
our
iPhones.
our texts come
Wi-Fi
through.
texting you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, technically, yes. So it's like iMessage where it goes instantly.
Or internet
and,
texting, I guess.
Yeah, and I can use the Android equivalent to FaceTime with him, which is Duo. And, I can do it right from a phone call. Like in FaceTime, you just click the button, it goes straight to a face, the same thing. So it's like there's similarities, but it's different in a way.
Yeah.
Apple just likes to seclude everything that's not Apple, and that's the thing. They don't want to include anything else.
It's a different mindset. Apple, in my eyes, they're just trying to control the experience so that everything's a 10 out of 10, which is just a different way of thinking. That's all.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
I think
Everything,
so.
Like I could take a picture right now and just like throw it right up to my screen.
But all right,
So easy.
to get to the original point. So yes, I personally just don't like using Macs. So like I said, when you love to use something and you're used to, it's hard to swap to something.
Wow, I forgot this is where the
I know.
conversation.
We're talking about Discord.
Well, that's the thing. So it's like when people were using Slack and the older generations, like that's what they're used to. Discord's just new to them. Something they just don't want to get used to it. They don't want to try something new, and that's where you're getting a lot of these problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you leave your DMs open?
No, the one thing we have to talk about, which is a negative of Discord, is the level of scams.
That's
and
where I was
hacking.
going to say.
Yeah.
Scams, and all.
It's
Yeah.
not, like we actually tell our members, we have a scam channel, which is like, beware, be careful, be mindful, don't do anything stupid because you can expose yourself. One of the recommendations is just have your DMs closed. As one of the founders of the project, I have, obviously admin rights to the Discord. If I get jacked, it can be devastating to the project. Huge, huge, huge problem. So my DMs are closed. And I hope all of our server members, we have about 20,000 people in there. I know not everybody's are closed, but I really, really hope they're being careful and responsible.
That's one thing that sucks. Like me personally, I'm sure Cody, you're the same way. Is since we're gamers and we use Discord outside of the NFT space, I'm not sure if they've added a certain, you can turn DMs off in a certain server.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so that is
do
new.
that,
Okay. I was gonna say
You can actually even allow DMs from people of servers you're in.
Correct.
So, but then
Okay.
again, that's if it's
So,
an open server. Why would
when
you do
I
that?
first started jumping into these NFT Discords, that wasn't a thing. And so I was forced, because of all the servers I'm in for gaming and the people that I'm not friends with so they can DM me, is I had to leave them open.
Right.
And it was like constant going and going and going. And I'm happy, and I'm assuming it's because of this NFT side of Discord that they put that in, that it's more so to allow the gamers and the people who use Discord for other servers than NFT stuff to be able to, close their DMs and do all that kind of stuff, because
Totally.
it was
Well, Discord's
outrageous.
noticed this issue. They actually have been working on more solutions for you guys to actually like protect yourselves. I know, like
Well,
they
the report spam thing has gotten much better.
yeah,
We
report
recognize
spam's
it.
gotten much better. I know, like two-factor authentication is a must. Like I have an app on my phone that will give me a code to even sign into my Discord. Like I said, I actually almost got hacked, but that saved me. Speaking recently, one of the people that had in one of my other Discords ran a Discord. They got hacked recently. They were able to get their account back, but it happened, and it happens because people post links. That free Nitro always gets people. Don't know why people click links. The newest one that was a scam was there was a picture that wasn't loading, and if you tried clicking on the picture to see what it was, that's how they got you.
Crazy.
It's insane, but they're doing steps
Wow.
to clear it up some more.
People are getting smarter too.
I
Like
didn't know about that.
Yeah, that one's-
that's
yeah.
crazy.
the scams in the DMs. I've been scammed. Have you ever been scammed?
No, I've not.
I've been scammed once very early on. I know you were scammed. When I was scammed with actually the Wall Street. Well, so it was a Wall Street bets style. It was called Wall Street Bulls, and I didn't realize how many different Wall Street bets Instagram accounts there were. But we got connected. We met someone at NFT NYC last year, and they were from California, and one of the founders owned one of the Wall Street Bets social handles on Instagram, and they were the first one that converted it into an NFT project. It was called Wall Street Bulls, and so I met the guy. We were talking at NFT NYC for a couple hours, and came back, looked at this product they were getting rid of the mint, and I was like, oh, I want to do this. Ended up being late to the mint, and it was like moving fast, like it was selling out, and
You lose your mind with those things because
I
you're,
was like,
you're
oh, I'm gonna
desperate.
miss it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then saw a DM come, and then first time that I experienced a website being built exactly like the original website.
They do incredible work. I
I couldn't
credit.
believe it.
I give a lot of credit to these. I wish they would use their skills towards something more productive.
Yeah.
Because they're between social engineering and the engineering skills that they have, if they're good, they could build a great business. Instead, they're trying to steal people's NFTs on a mint day. It's just sad.
Instead,
what
I
was
like,
that?
That's actually what got me. Was I went in for the Ozzy Osbourne bat.
oh, his was wild.
That Discord got hacked, but apparently the actual Twitter, the official Twitter that they had, promoted it. They never told anyone that their Discord got hacked. They're just like, oh, they just left it there. Didn't say a word. And I got caught by the fake collab land that they had in there,
Got it.
which, that sort of sucks, but it happens. So I lost that wallet. Luckily, it didn't have too much in it, and none of the NFTs got stolen. So
Well, what was that project we looked at the other day? I think it was like Night Owls or something. They had like the original mint page. They were minting like that day.
Oh, Moonbirds?
Moonbirds.
Moonbirds, yeah,
Moonbirds.
recently.
The original
Yeah,
one, the
yeah.
one that rocketed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had the original website and then the Google ad,
Yeah.
and you click the Google ad. It is identical.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Except
pathetic.
for the URL.
Yep.
Instead of I don't know what it was. I think it was like .xyz, but the fake one was .net or .something.
Or it'll be like one less, like an extra S or something.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
it's
you
like
gotta
something
check
that
all that.
small.
Yep.
But they can get away with creating the exact same website.
I have a problem with Google here, and it's honestly, I've gone on the record saying this before. I think it's pathetic that these companies are able to run ads, and they're the top of the feed on Google, where people are able to click on them. Like, I feel like Google has to have a better way to vet, where there is some credibility there. We're like just a scam company like Moonbirds. You could Google it. The first one that pops up, Google Ads, that Google is technically recommending is a scam page. It's going to steal your money.
There should be more verification. I agree with that. At the same time, it's our responsibility in Discord and Twitter, wherever we're to say these are the official links. If you ever want to go do something, you have to go to our official link page. Otherwise, you're at your, and we kind of say you're at your own at your own risk, the way you behave on your own time and place. But we are giving you guys a safe place. Just listen to us, please.
I've seen that a lot more in Discord specifically. Is people will make announcements like, we will not DM you, we will not do this, we will not do that, and they constantly make those announcements like once a week or so. And then, there's a lot of times you'll look at like the official links and it'll say right across the top in bold letters, only this link will take you to the website. Like, don't go anywhere else. This is the official link.
Even with all of that, it's stuff still happens.
The issue is still with OpenSea too. Like you've seen this with a few projects where it's like this project may not have had that check mark,
right?
Because they didn't quite get there yet. But there's a duplicate.
The derivative. We already have a few that have copied us, and we're only 3 weeks old.
I remember way back before. I think it was before you guys even got the Killer Bears name. The art, I remember because. So the way that we kind of got connected, I worked with Sven on a previous project way back, and I remember seeing him tweet that there was a random project using the art.
Yeah.
And it was like something that like wasn't even connected, but they were acting like it was their own.
Yeah. So they took Mimo, who's our artist. He's so talented. His Instagram, he posts his work. So somebody was basically just scrubbing his Instagram and uploading them to OpenSea and selling them. It's sad. I mean, OpenSea, they do their part. They have a system for verification and all of that, but it takes time. We're still unverified. The moment you hit 100 ETH in trade volume, you're eligible to apply. But there's a lot of demand there, and they have only so many people working there, so it takes time. But until then, the derivative stuff, the even more challenging part is like on Solana, there's a Killer Bear derivative already with they're like chubby angry bears. But if you look at them, they're the same. They just ate a cheeseburger. Same teeth, same everything.
Can't have
Everything
their own
but the
ideas.
body.
Yeah.
It's annoying to deal with, but at the same time, it's kind of like a compliment a little bit because if they did that, you are doing something right. Like I said to our company, because we have a project that we haven't really announced it yet, but we're at the late stages of that, and we addressed the whole scam thing and what do we do with these duplicate websites, and we're like, if we kind of get to that point, like you want to protect your audience, but you're kind of doing something right.
Definitely.
If you do have to address that. So it's like a double-edged sword because you never want your community to be victim to something or potential buyers.
And actually, like continuing all that, like you said, it was a different site. Like it was like a .net instead of a .xyz. That's what like you see like the big companies. I think it was it might have been Disney. I forget which one it was, but they were buying up their rights to theirs. Oh, it was Nintendo. Nintendo bought their right to like their sites for NFTs. They're not going into NFTs. They just wanted to make sure.
Didn't Sega do that same thing?
It's defense. Yeah, they're playing defense.
Yeah. That's where it's like you really gotta like anyone that's like it's gonna be a big project. It's like you probably should do that just to protect yourselves from any of that.
But that kind of ties in with the same idea of I forgot the name of that project. It was like Pixelmon or something like that, but it was copying Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it was literally like Pokemon, like straight up Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it's like it kind of is a defense
Or
of
like
that.
pixelated?
It was like I believe so. It was like Cody, if you can pull it up, it was like pixelated Pokemon, but they were like legit same names, same like design. Like
I wonder what's
they don't
gonna
own the
happen,
rights.
because in the early days before this PFP stuff, when it was just like Nifty Gateway and all this like the art side of it with no utilities, like Scrooge McDuck was everywhere. Like Disney is not gonna let that slide, in my opinion. They're gonna come down with it. There was a lot of money that went into that art.
Yeah, you want ignorant?
Oh, the thick Pokemons.
Yeah, they made the thick Mons, which
That started on Facebook Marketplace with these companies making
Facebook Marketplace. Oh,
the companies were making fake cards that people could buy just for fun.
But
and it
it's-
would be like thick Pikachu, and it was like THICC Pikachu. And it was like Pikachu bending over. With like,
That's actually really funny.
like it's funny, but it's just like it's ignorant. But like yeah, people.
thick
with this
manky.
stuff.
But like that's what they were doing, and they were selling those as NFTs. I'm like, you can't do that. Like
The thing is, always you can. There's still no rules. I mean, it's still the Wild West. I think the only parallel I can draw is when the Instagram stuff started for me in 2017, when the feed was chronological. It was the Wild West. You could promote anything you wanted. Instagram couldn't catch up with you. There was no copyright protection. There was no nothing. You could do anything. And then eventually, the weeks turn to months, and they start to add stuff. And I think at some point, we're going to have to see the same thing here. You can't have bad actors getting rewarded. Like, when I see any trade volume at all for a derivative project, like, I get frustrated because we're trying to celebrate the artists, and we're trying to celebrate teams and community that are working towards something that's big and good. And you have somebody that literally, saves an image from OpenSea, goes into Photoshop and like applies some filter to it, and then goes back to OpenSea.
We had an instance with somebody that we were attempting to work with that was telling us that they owned a doodle.
Oh,
But what they did, we tracked it on the blockchain, found out they don't own it. And what they did was they took the original one, we found the original one, and we compared them side by side. And they put a slight darker tint, or lighter tint.
they changed the
Over.
background though of it. That's what they did.
yeah.
It was
So
the
you
same
couldn't use,
doodle,
like, the
just the
Google image
background
search
color.
and find it, and we were like, yeah, this is
And we knew
the
it.
best look.
And we asked him flat out. We called him out too. Like we tried to get him to say it, and we were like, "So, like, do you own that doodle?" And he told us yes. And we all knew that he didn't. You know what I mean?
See, that's what
After
happened
he
with-
said yes, it was just like
You're lying.
Yeah, it was
30-second
we know.
pause where no
Like-
one said anything, and then
See, but that ties
Yeah.
into the social media aspect because it's like, like I said, Twitter added the Twitter Blue where you could put an NFT, and people's like, oh, they have a Bored Ape as their picture, and they can verify. That's maybe I should listen to what they're saying, and I think it's that mentality of I have something that was bought really high. I know the experience.
Look at all these accounts on Twitter that have Bored Apes as their profile picture.
There's a lot.
None of them are verified octagons.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexing going on.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's one thing I stand strong on this point that Bored Ape Yacht Club. The first thing, this is what I say to everybody. Bored Ape Yacht Club's hype. I love that they paved the way for NFTs. I love it. They are one of the originals that really brought NFTs into the mainstream. But the hype is too much.
Yeah, I mean, did you see ApeCoin? What happened to it? Did you see like the chart like up to today?
I haven't seen the charts of today.
It looks like a mountain.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it feels pump and dumpy to me. But listen, I admire it. I agree. There's a lot of hype there. A lot of celebrities. They are the first massive smash hit.
Yeah.
They paved the way. I admire a lot of what they've done. I think when you're the first one, you're the pioneer, you have a lot of responsibility that maybe you didn't ask for.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the decisions that you make are good for everybody. I think there's been a lot lately, and I can't say anything bad because they are a pioneer.
Well, yeah. Well, I made that mistake.
He takes a very bold stance on it.
I take a bold.
A lot of
stance on
people
it,
share this
but-
opinion, though.
But exactly. But the thing is I made a post. I worded something a little bit differently than I should have worded it, and it came across a little bit differently. And someone who owns a Bored Ape or claims to own a Bored Ape, and you can never tell, got real defensive about it and was like coming at me.
Well, listen.
And I was like, hold on, let me clarify. All right, they did great, and I want to do this now. Like, they did great. They're doing great. They are a pioneer. I love what they've done, and I love that they've paved the way. But my stance is I don't see why the hype is still growing to this day when the NFT space is moving away from artwork and more towards utility.
Right.
And it's like, I just don't see the amount of hype that they're receiving. I don't see it backed by anything that they've really produced.
The
other
only
than,
hype that you have is, oh, celebrities own this coin. I'm a
Exactly.
part of that little club.
Exactly.
I'm part of that group, so I'm exclusive. That's the only hype that they have.
Exactly. No, that's literally like my stance is, they did great with the video with their announcing. I guess the announcement of their
The other side.
Yeah,
meta,
the other side. Yeah,
Great video.
Great video.
Probably the best video I've seen in the action.
100%. But I just
You haven't
don't-
seen what we're coming out with.
Oh, you guys got a big one?
You heard it here
But
first.
I saw somebody posted that they received over. I don't quote me on the exact number, but I think it was somewhere around 600 million
Yeah,
after they produced that video and put it out.
I'm not surprised.
And it's just one of those things that it's like, it was a minute-long video. Like, why is this hype? I get it.
Because
It's the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
it looks like that's going to be a utility for them. Like everyone's been suspecting that they're going to be coming out with a utility at some point, and they really haven't. They haven't just yet. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised it hasn't been more of a thing. But if you're, again, Yuga Labs, if you're growing like that, why change if it's not broken, I guess?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why the people that own apes are defensive too. Some of them they had the foresight to buy, on the mint for what was it, 0.08 ETH. They're millionaires now. They need to protect that. Like they've made it. Now when you say like I don't think it's sustainable or it's real. I think it's all built on a hype bubble. They're counting their dollars. Like, I really hope not. I have to fight against this.
You know what's kind of funny? These people, like, we do call them millionaires, but, like, there's definitely people out there that own probably a couple Bored Apes because they were early, but, like, they're probably kind of poor. Like, they're just, like if they still own the Bored Ape and they haven't cashed out yet, it's interesting because they could be Bored Ape owners and, like, still be living with their parents or something.
Plenty are.
And it's interesting because they are, like, the top of, like, Web3, and everyone considers them, like, royalty. But a lot of them are just, like, people that got lucky. It's like, oh, someone said to buy this,
See,
so I bought it.
That's my other stance. And that's like, I've seen this so many times on Twitter that people who own Bored Apes think that they are like the top influencer for NFTs. Some of them, don't get me wrong, some of them, they know their shit. And they, prove it and they show it. And like, they're actual influencers. Others are very questionable. They post a few things that you kind of like are, and it's like, you got lucky by minting an NFT that ended up becoming.
They were early on. They were early to this.
And that's the part that kind of like, I don't want to say annoys me, but it kind of just gives me that little like, under my skin kind of deal.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right, so let's bring it back to the main subject of our conversation. This is something that I am curious. I want to hear your take on this. Do you think there will be a competitor to Discord that's exclusive, that's built to basically be for NFTs that's going to come out? It might be in development now.
The only ones with a shot, it's Twitter.
Yeah.
That's it. As far as for our projects and all projects that I know about, those are the only two places where anything is happening. Discord and Twitter. Twitter, I think it could if they wanted. I don't know if Uncle Elon is going to go there, but
I've actually had this conversation yesterday, and I believe that there will be a competitor one day. There will be a platform I don't want to say exactly like Discord because I don't know what kind of trademarks they have on what they do, but there will be a platform that is geared more user friendly towards the NFT space that will provide close to, if not more than what Discord currently provides. And a lot of people kind of have the same idea that something will come. It's going to be years, I can tell you that, because in order to build a platform that's even like Discord, it's going to take years to develop. On top of it, once you release it, you're going to have bugs, and you're going to have this, that, and the third you got to address. It's going to be years before then, but I can definitely see, especially with all the amount of money these projects are making.
yeah,
There will definitely be.
there are VCs that I'm sure would licking their chops to get into something like that. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if something popped up. Listen, there was a time where I was saying that nobody could take Instagram off of their mantle, and I have to be honest. I spend a lot more time on TikTok than I do Instagram.
Yeah.
And they did it. they succeeded. I think everyone knows that. It's not a fact to everybody in the world, but things have changed there. Anything is possible, but I do think Twitter would be the one that's in the best position. I think it'll be really hard because that's like, I don't know how familiar you guys are with raider groups. You guys know about that, Twitter raids?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So Twitter, you can have a group of 75 people in DM, and we have several of them, and the community organizes them. We don't really have anything to do with them. We just see that they're going on, but they are the ones that are broadcasting the message for us, saying, Killer Bears, Killer Bears, Killer Bears. If you go on Twitter, you will see their work. I could see them not wanting to leave Twitter and stay in there to do all of their whatever they're doing, their promotions and their pumps. So I could see it, but Twitter would have the easiest journey to kind of knocking Discord off. But it will be tough. It will be tough. I mean, if you look at like a traditional SaaS or e-commerce business, the stack of technology you use to run it, you have Zendesk or Customer for your customer service tickets, and you have Google Analytics and this and that other thing. Discord, it's all there. We have a ticket system in there. We have absolutely everything. It's all in one place. It's so manageable. I hope things stay as they are, but ready to adapt if we have to.
Of course. That's going to be the challenge. Is once that is a thing, the adaptation from Discord to the new platform, everyone's pretty much going to go through what they are going through either currently or went through when it first became a thing. But in all honesty, now thinking about that, people are taking all the steps that's needed to really learn this platform of Discord.
Yeah.
Do you really expect that somebody's going to drop something new and everyone's just going to drop what they're doing to move everything to there? That's the talk. That's know what I mean?
It's tough. In the Instagram days, Kik, K-I-K. You guys know that app?
Cody does.
So Kik was like the place. It was like the Discord. I already know. I wasn't going to say anything. I'm being a polite guest.
This is a conversation we had with him 2 days ago. He told us about his use with Kik. Sorry, Cody.
Whatever.
All right, so let's
Kik was a great thing. Anyway, if you were owning big Instagram pages, all of us talked on Kik. The reason was to protect your identity. You have the doxed and the not doxed people. So regardless of what you were, everybody had Kik so that you can communicate with others and you could conceal your identity if you wanted. I forgot what happened, but everybody left Kik in 1 day and went to Telegram. I'm not kidding. It was a mass exodus. In 1 day, everybody left.
Well, now you have WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's kind of, in my opinion, that's kind of on the borderline of being Kik for now.
The thing is you have to sign. You're your phone number. There's something real that has to be passed on.
Yeah.
So if me and you were using WhatsApp, I would be able to get your number. If I just had your QR code, if I clicked on your contact card, your phone number would be there, and that is a huge value. If you own an Instagram portfolio of 17 million subscribers and somebody knows your phone number, it's a huge risk.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, I use it just for business purposes, because obviously the NFT space is all over the world.
Yep.
Can't get charged for all that, but
Try not to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the one thing that I think WhatsApp kind of paved the way. Kik was more of that, keep your identity secret, talk to whoever you want. It used overseas as well, kind of deal, and then WhatsApp came in and kind of took that more. You can message anyone anywhere for free, and that was okay.
Their newest commercials are pretty sick. I liked them a lot. I think one was a Super Bowl commercial where they show the guy opening the mail. It's the mailman opening the mail. It's oh, this is what you're doing, and it's oh, if you don't want your mail opened, why do you want your messages opened?
Right.
And I was oh, that is. It's they're fully encrypted or something.
Fully end to end. The thing, WhatsApp has a good desktop app, which is in my eye the problem with Kik is that you really couldn't use it on the desktop. So you'd be working at a desk and then Kik would just go and go and go and go and go. Telegram luckily has a desktop app. WhatsApp has. Discord has a really good one. Although here and there it crashes because there's just so much action. But
the desktop app is a main thing, and that's going back to what we said earlier. That's why I love iMessage.
Does Kik even exist anymore? Did they make it?
Oh, it exists still.
It's still around.
All
But
right, chill.
I'll be.
no, it's still.
I
It's
have
still
to see
around,
what's
but
going on.
It's not. No, it's still around, but like not a lot of people use it. It's very far in between.
Yeah, I remember the mass exodus was incredible.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
I mean, you could say the same thing. This happened like with what is it? MySpace. When Facebook came out, MySpace died completely. Right? When something better comes out, it happens. Like when Vine got taken down, it was bought by Facebook. Everyone left, and that's when TikTok came in.
Is that what happened? Was Vine
Twitter.
purchased by Facebook?
Vine got bought out by
it
Facebook.
was
And that's
Twitter.
why-
I think it was Twitter.
Was it Twitter? Okay. Correction.
I
Sorry.
loved Vine.
Vine was. I mean, TikTok finished the thought of Vine.
Yeah.
Well, Shane was growing to be Vine famous. at one
I had a
point.
little bit of a following on Vine.
Really? What was your gig? What were you doing?
Just like comedy stuff. Before the whole Revine thing, before like when the very beginning, there was a point where it was like, if you got liked by like someone like Eric Dunn, or who was another big guy? I think Eric Dunn was like
King
the
Batch.
King Batch. Well, King Batch was like a little. Eric Dunn, I think, was the very first one, and then King Batch, and then like Logan Paul, and then. But like at one point, if you got just a like from one of them, people would go and just like look at the likes of the famous people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's how.
Who liked
that was
you?
the only way. I don't know. I just started. It was a lot of word of mouth in the beginning, just like friends and family sharing and all that, and then it just like took off.
Unbelievable.
But then it was like me and my brother had a joint page, and my brother just never wanted to do anything. I was like very like particular with how I wanted things to look, and he never wanted to help.
I'll just say my favorite video, and this will always stay in my mind forever, that you guys put out, which actually was one of the ones that got a lot of traction. There was like, it was like his brother was standing there, and the camera was behind him, and you could see that like Shane was like in front of him, but like down on his knee, and he was like had his hands like this, and he was like, oh my god, it really is small, and he goes, I told you, it's a shrimp, and the camera goes over his
That
shoulder.
wasn't even that funny. That
He has like a
one.
little shrimp in his hand.
I was like it's the typical like Vine stuff, but no, the one that I made that went like viral, I did a 3D one where it was like, and the thing that I really liked about Vine was you had to do everything in app live. You
Right.
couldn't add music, you couldn't upload. There was no like, if you messed up, held the button too long, that was it. And I made a video. I like just figured out some like practical effects where I like had a white piece of paper, shined a light on it, and then just it blended in perfectly with the actual app. So I like went like this and just put my hand over it slightly, and it looked like it created a 3D effect.
Cool.
So that like kind of went semi-viral, and just like a random videos.
I loved Vine. I loved it.
The in-app aspect is I took a while to get into TikTok, but it I like that you had to do everything live. Like that, it was a whole nother level of creativity.
Yeah.
You had to do things practical.
Who was your favorite Viner?
Well, there were a couple different phases. I liked Marcus Johns. Was that the one that was like really big in the beginning? I liked him a lot. King Batch was hilarious, but Eric Dunn was probably my favorite. Honestly, I don't even remember a lot of them.
I like Eric
I
Dunn's
mixed up.
raps. His little
I don't
rap
think
videos he would do.
maybe I knew who it was, but I didn't follow him.
Let me show you one of his. Oh, actually, you know what, Cody?
Yeah.
Pull up like Eric Dunn, Vine. Like, let's watch his like top one. What was the one where he's like jogging through the white neighborhood? I think
I
think
remember
just
it, but I
called that.
can't recall.
And this is goes.
You guys know Jerry Perp Drank?
Oh
He was
yeah,
he was my favorite.
yeah. He was very. I forgot about him. He was
great. I have
was
no
actually
idea.
connected with him a little bit
Cody,
because
you want to just plug it into your computer?
It's been real. Fuck. Dad, I got a Snapchat of somebody.
now Cody,
clapping
find the
their
one where it's like he's literally like.
Oh,
running
he's
through-
running and he's like,
like,
I'm
"Ah,
running through
I'm
your
gonna
neighborhood. I'm
all
gonna
your
steal all your stuff.
It was so funny. But Jerry Perp Drank, his like brother, I like met in Boston.
Oh, here it is.
I like running through white people neighborhoods with my shirt off.
I'm gonna steal all your stuff.
Like just like so simple, but funny, you know.
Yeah, but stuff like that, like that's what it was, and that's what it was great. My only issue with TikTok is like it's the dumb humor of, like I said, the younger generation. I'm sorry, I'm getting old as well as a lot of everyone here, but it's just like I don't get a lot of the humor on TikTok now. But like it also you have to have music in it as well, which sort of sucks.
Yeah. Do you remember there was this guy called Tyrone. I think his page was like
Oh.
I'm Tyrone. Pull up his page.
My name's
I'm
Tyrone.
gonna fuck
and
your
I'm gonna
wife.
fuck your wife.
I remember
So I went to school in Philadelphia. I went to Temple University, and I'm at the track like working out. And they had like a pull-up bar there, and like I was trying to get in shape, like just like doing my thing with my friends. And this guy walks up to me, this like jack dude. He's giant, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to like do a Vine?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." So I'm like, he's like, "Oh, do some pull-ups, and then I'm gonna go up and like push off the thing."
Oh God.
And then he goes to his whole little thing. And so I was like, okay, I did it. So then he found out that I like doing Vines. He hits me up all the time, always wanting to do videos. Comes to my apartment, and his ideas were so dumb. I was like, what the heck?
Dumb
Like,
is great. Dumb works.
That's the thing, though. He was one of like the bigger names that, like, you recite that, like, my name's Tyrone and I'm gonna fuck your wife, like that. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
It stuck.
Like,
And he told me that idea. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be funny. He's like, oh, this is we're gonna be at a table. We're gonna be like dipping some chips. And like that's a joke, like double dip. I'm like, is there like a sexual innuendo? Like what? Like he's like, nah, like no one likes double dip. And I was like
He's right.
"James?" And he did it, and the Vine blew up. I was like, what? I'm like, maybe I don't got it. I didn't see it.
That's like the original. Like I said, it's going back to like the original YouTube. You don't have that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
The stuff that was original it's not.
Now it's like you got like 13-year-old girls like messing with algorithms and stuff, like stuff that I didn't even know existed until like a couple of years ago.
I
It's
mean,
just like they're like
look,
liking, sharing, like doing all the.
in all honesty, so in order to blow up on any app, like just for doing nothing, is be a girl and cosplay. I see so many TikTok, Twitter, all these pages that are like they don't do anything but stand in front of the camera, and they
There's
have
a
like
huge
18,000
audience.
likes.
Yep. It's
Big
fact.
audience.
And I'm like, why? Like, there's no content.
They're playing to what's getting engagement. So they'd make, think of it this way. You make 10 pieces of content. They will be ranked 1 through 10. If you just make more of what was 1, 2, and 3, you'll probably win in the long run. And that's what they're just playing a long game.
That makes
it's,
sense.
it's like,
It makes sense.
They don't I don't know if they even realize what they're doing, but it's a very like analytical approach. It doesn't have to be like smart or anything like that. It's just this works, this doesn't work. Do more of what works.
Yeah.
I agree. I understand. And I had a heated debate with I forgot who it was. If I even remember her name, I couldn't say it. But she was some somewhat famous actress. I don't know how we got into this thing. I went to an event and we had dinner. 3 or 4 people. One of the guys was Jonathan Mannion, who's a very famous photographer, probably the most famous hip-hop photographer of all time. Mm-hmm. This lady that was at the dinner was so offended with what I did on Instagram. She was like, you're not producing anything. There's nothing original going on here. You're just, manipulating algorithms. I thought about it. I said, I don't think you understand. I said, I understand your skill. You're really good on camera and you can play different roles, but I don't think you understand my skill and my team's skill. She said, well, what is it? Finding memes, like retyping them and posting them. I said, it's understanding engagement and understanding the follower and understanding how to get them to tell their friends about things. I said, yeah, sure. We're not good on camera. We're not good at this. We're not good at that. But there is a skill here, and I think you should consider appreciating it because I appreciate what you can do on a camera. And she agreed to disagree. It was not a very happy thing. But to your point, some silly content is killer.
I mean, look, I have a close friend of mine that, she indulges in the TikTok of, showing herself off and, OnlyFans, I'll say it.
Nice.
And
Is she, earnings, serious earnings?
like, she just bought a brand new BMW, like, cash. So,
Too bad it wasn't a Lambo.
Yeah, that's.
Well, that's
I thought you were gonna say
It's
like
coming.
Lambo or
no,
something.
no. Like, she only started like 2 months ago.
Okay, so by
okay.
July it's a Lambo.
Yeah, pretty much. So like, but she understands my point of view of it, and I understand her point of view of it, and like we meet obviously because we're like friends and we talk about it. We meet in the middle, and it's kind of like one of those things that's like I don't fully understand it because I'm not in that space, and she doesn't fully understand it because she's not in my space.
Right.
And it's like, she explained it very well to me, and she went into a whole great detail of like everything that like why she does it, and like, you know, obviously it's from the money and everything, but you know, she explains like she was telling me that the algorithms for that are completely different compared to an Instagram algorithm
Oh, yeah.
or a YouTube algorithm or
Oh, yeah.
you know, a typical social media algorithm. And it's like, in order for her to even get started on a platform like that, like she had to literally leverage her friends to purchase her content.
Of course.
And like I think she's in like top 4% on the platform now, and it's like it's getting, you know, more and more and more.
Yeah, you pick up steam there.
It's crazy. It wasn't too long ago. You mentioned it earlier when Instagram and social media was like only chronological order.
Yep.
And like that was like posting times were like the biggest thing because that's what you had to do. And still today, like posting times matter. But when you mentioned that, I was like, wow, I forgot about this a little bit.
Yeah, Wentagram. I don't own it anymore. I sold it, but yeah, there was a time where if you knew when to post, the engagement numbers were way stronger, and we had proof of it. You know, we had, I don't know, 600,000 or 700,000 users before I had sold it, and we looked at everyone's like last 100 posts, you know, before and after they had used Wentagram, and it was clear if you knew when to do it, 20-30% lift, something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
OnlyFans is really what's crazy.
Yeah,
Did you guys see what's her
OnlyFans
name?
is insane.
Bad Baddie, the Cash Me Outside girl.
Bad, what is it? Is it Bad Baby?
Bad, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean,
That was like a little funky. Like, because there were dudes like,
Well, there was
right when she turned 18, she went live on OnlyFans and like, didn't she make like millions right away?
it's like
Well,
$50 million and like some crazy number.
you could bring Bella Thorne into that conversation. She basically fished like millions of guys to pay for her OnlyFans, and then she's like, you know, get in while you can because I'm only gonna make one quick little post and then I'm deleting the account. And
It's brilliant.
and she got like $15 to $20 million from this, you know, 2 weeks of building up hype, and then posted a picture of her like at the beach, like in full clothing. And
Yeah, oh.
everyone got so mad, and she got so much heat behind it.
She rugged them, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually, well, that had a massive back off the site. Like the site actually started canceling a lot of people because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it changed the entire rulings, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
mad funny.
And I mean, even what's her name? Belle Delphine. Is that her name?
Bella Delphine played it. She played it very well with what she wanted without actually doing anything horrible. She played to her audience's thing, and then once she actually went through with what she was going to do, downfall, like it just didn't stay with. But she's already
Well,
made the millions.
she took a step into uncharted waters that probably shouldn't have taken a step into, and she, because of that, fell into this. She's not even a streamer anymore. She's not like she's nothing anymore.
Well, it doesn't matter. She's
She's retired, yeah.
They're retired. Yeah.
I mean, she's still around though. Like people are still making videos.
Sure
on
you know,
YouTube about
Cody.
it.
Is that the bathwater girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's yeah. All right, so let's.
I was trying to
We got
stray
off-
away, go around that, but okay, yeah.
All right,
She's
well, I
sold
think
her
that's the
bathwater.
weirdest thing. I think that's crazy, but
The fact that people still bought that is ridiculous.
it's weird buying someone's bathwater. But okay, so let's stay let's bring it back in. We kind of took a loop all the way around, ended with bathwater. Yeah. So Cody just put a little picture on the screen. It says "keep calm," and 15 minutes left. There's one of the other images that were on the screen.
Keep
So,
calm and talk
to
about it.
to wrap up the episode, let's talk about. I know you mentioned it earlier. Let's talk about Killer Bears a little.
Sure.
So, for anyone out there that doesn't know, why don't you just give us the quick rundown? Tell us what the project is.
Sure. So Killer Bears is a collection of 3,333 animated bears. Yeah, right on the screen there. Designed by Mimo Angeles. He's a Mexican artist, super talented. For a decade, he's been designing these bears. And we had a free mint. We didn't actually plan to go free, but it just worked out that way, and it's worked out really well. Community first. And that's kind of my responsibility, business and community, to make sure that everything we do, the community agrees on. I think that's the spirit of all of this crypto stuff and the NFT stuff, is that the community has a chance to be heavily involved in the future. So, we have a roadmap, but they can comment on it and they can help us navigate what the future becomes. And
So the mint was fully free. Everyone.
yeah, I mean, it was a circus. So we had a really big Discord, and then the mint came around. We had the whitelist, that period where whitelist only could buy, and that first like 3 minutes there were a bunch of sales, and then it slowed down. And people started saying like gas is super high, gas is super high. So I started to look around if there were other mints going on. I couldn't find anything, and we said, listen, I don't really feel like waiting until tomorrow to sell, for the public mint. Should we just wrap this up now? We already are like 30% of the way through our roadmap. We don't really have the patience, and frankly, it could be interesting to go free, sell out like in 45 minutes and start trending, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
And wow, yeah, I mean, that's what happened. And the paper hands, came out to play, and they started selling immediately for nothing in our eyes. We were like, guys, hold on. We're a competent team. We have plans. Within a day, though, we had the holders that we wanted to have.
Wow.
We got on spaces with them pretty early on, and they believed in us, and we thought that they had conviction that we were going to go for it. And now, we've rebranded Umbrella to Kiloverse Productions, and a couple of things have been leaked in the last week. There's maybe a video game coming up. There's maybe something on the big screen. We have shown a couple of things on Twitter, and we're excited. We have the Teddy Bear Workshop is the first big roadmap item that's going to happen, and then the Pixabears collection. So we have 2 companion collections planned. We haven't put dates on when they're going to come out, and we're not really in any rush. It's a long-term play here.
So the free mint thing is interesting because we've talked about it. I put it on LinkedIn a lot. The free mint aspect is something that projects aren't utilizing as much as they could, because the valuable thing here is the community that you're going to build.
Correct.
Like I look at Budweiser, for instance. They had an NFT collection, and they were charging whatever it was, the NFT. The, let's say, $1 million that Budweiser makes, like, they don't need that money.
They don't need that money.
But the community that they could build is so much more valuable.
Correct.
Why not just give out 20,000 NFTs for free, and now you have a community?
Yeah. I think nowadays, most people that are creating projects, they need that money because they think they've earned it by working to bring something to market. The reality is it's very saturated now. A lot of people are going on Fiverr and Upwork, and no disrespect to the people that are providing services there, but you can, and we talked about with the derivatives a little while ago, you can make an NFT collection without that much trouble, unfortunately. There's that much noise. There's some huge players out there that have all of the oxygen in the room, and some mints just don't go well. So free could be a good option, but you need to have conviction that you're going to make it. Free for us was not a big deal. We said, free, people are going to love it. The artwork's great. We're a real team. We're doxed. It's gonna go fine, and we've been rewarded for that decision. But the perceived value of ours, I think this may be why the perception is when you have a charged mint. Okay, 0.08 ETH mint. That is not nothing. That's well, today's price is not what it was a few weeks ago, but whatever it is.
So like what, 200?
0.05 right now is about 130. So 0.08 would be about
Oh, yeah, like-
$200.
Yeah, like 200.
Right, but and ETH is down now. It was up 1,000 per not that long ago. So and that was the time where we were minting. But the perceived okay, an NFT is $300 with Kilobears. All of a sudden, guys, we've changed course. It's free. They think they're getting $300 for free value. If you go out and say we're a free mint, the perceived value is 0. That's tricky. Now, Budweiser or some big company tries to do it, it might be different. But in our case, people thought that they were pulling one over on us. And at the end of the day, we all knew the community was going to take us where we needed to go, and we had the roadmap and the skills to get there. So since then, we've traded maybe 860, 870 ETH, which is north of, we're getting to like $3 million, and that's just 3 weeks. So yeah, free mint, but it's going well, and I think our future is probably brighter now than it would have been if we were charged. I think. I can't say for sure, but
Wow, that's amazing. I'm sure people will listen to this and be like, wow, it's a case study in itself, because it's something our team has thought about extensively. And I mean, I'm surprised more products aren't doing that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So, I think we're coming up on our time. Ben, it was great talking to you. Tell the viewers, where can they follow you? Any last things that you wanna say?
You can follow me on Twitter. Which camera? Here we go. Hi, guys. I didn't even know that was up there. The Twitter is Mr_BenFT.
I like
Well,
that.
yeah, that's,
I thought about it for a while. Thank
and
you.
we'll throw it up on the screen so everyone can see it. We'll link it down below, of course. But I like that, Mr. Ben FT.
Thank you. And I'm starting to, now that we're kind of the sellout has passed and we've got the team under control in the Discord, which has been tough to get under control. I'm tweeting a bit more, and I'm trying now to give some information about what it's been like, so that other people that are starting projects can understand. Maybe, kind of like this conversation, some education from somebody that's been in that seat, that's dealt with one of these situations before. And follow me or not, I don't really care.
Yeah, check out Killer Bears. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is another episode of Okay, What's Next? We will see you next time.
What's next? What's next? What's next?
If you enjoyed the content in this episode, make sure to check out our entire channel. Check out our socials. Check out our streams. We're talking about good stuff all day. Follow, like, subscribe. We'll talk to you guys next time.